Happening now, the Lansing School Board is meeting less than a day after the Department of Justice announced it is investigating the school district. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Andrews. Ann is off tonight. Federal officials say they are looking into district policies and classroom instruction related to the LGBTQ community. Now, the investigation is not on the school board's agenda tonight, but there is a good chance it could be discussed. News 10's Riley Connell live in Lansing outside that board meeting with new information ahead of tonight's gathering.
Yeah, David, that meeting has just gotten underway here, and within the last half hour, I received a response from the Lansing School District. They say they are aware of an investigation by the Department of Justice and that the district and its legal team are carefully reviewing that message from the DOJ to decide what the next steps are going to be. They also add that the district remains committed to full compliance with all applicable laws and to serving its students, staff, and community with transparency and integrity. Now, a legal expert tells me this investigation could run into some issues with federal, state, and local law.
Unless there have been parental complaints, I'm very curious to know where this is coming from.
Constitutional law professor Brendan Beery says he's puzzled by a U.S. Department of Justice decision to investigate the Lansing School District. Federal officials say they're looking for any policies or classroom instruction that mention sexual orientation or gender identity, adding they want to ensure district parents are being given the chance to opt their children out of those discussions.
And the Supreme Court, as it's currently constituted, appears to have said yes to that. That a school district has to honor the right of a parent to remove their kids from that kind of curriculum or that kind of lesson plan.
However, Beery says school districts have the right to set their own curriculum and are governed by state law. The DOJ says it will also investigate policies surrounding gendered facilities like locker rooms and bathrooms. Beery says whether or not the federal government should be involved depends on when LGBTQ identities are being mentioned at school and in what context.
It's not just a matter of constitutional law. It's a matter of Justice Department priorities, right? And how much noise the federal government can make about what local school districts are doing.
According to this Lansing School District policy, the district will honor a written request for a student to be excused from lessons that conflict with religious beliefs or values. State Superintendent Glenn Maleko is showing support for the district, saying in a written statement, if we want to put students first, Michigan schools need all students to be healthy, safe, and included. And in a statement issued last night, the U.S. Assistant Attorney General said the Department of Justice is committed to stopping a trend of schools putting sexuality and gender identity into all aspects of education, although he did not specifically accuse any of the schools under investigation of doing that. Live in Lansing, Riley Connell, News 10.
All right, Riley, thank you. This is a developing story. You can stay with News 10 on air and online for the very latest updates. A live look out